Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here with the Pyukumuku Moveset video guide for this Pokemon in Ultra Sun and Moon. If you guys actually missed any of my previous ones, feel free to check them out. There is a playlist down below. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitch and Twitter, stay up to date with me, and to know when I'm streaming. So, Pyukumuku, sorry, I love that. That's what, like, Necrozma, Pyukumuku, Stack Attack, I love their names so much. But Pyukumuku did get a new toy this generation, or one of the new toys in this generation, which was Block. Block is one of the moves that it now has in its arsenal, and this is a really good move for a Pokemon like this because it now allows it to trap, if you're taking it up to RU, it allows it to trap Pokemon like Registeel, Pokemon like Bronzong, right? And if you're playing in the NU tier, I mean, it still traps everything the same, just not ghost types, so it can trap Pokemon like Golbat, who aren't running U-turn, fighting types like Hitmontop, who try to rapid spin on you, just anything like that. It can just trap Pokemon, right? Same thing with Slowbro, which is trying to slack off. So Block is a really cool moveset that it now has. If you are playing in NU or even RU, Shed Shell is the option because if you go for Block on Xatu specifically, it bounces back, and then if Xatu does have Toxic, it beats you 1v1, or Xatu can attempt to PP stall you because your entire moveset, you can't actually touch Xatu itself. This is a Pokemon that isn't really meant to attack, but just wear down your opponent. So, because it does have a great base 130 def and defense. It's a really slow Pokemon as well. So, Block, Toxic, Soak. Soak gives you that option versus Steel types, versus Poison types. You're able to change them into Water types, and then you can actually Toxic them and wear them down with Pyukumuku's Toxic, which is really cool. I love this Pokemon specifically for that. And then Recover is your form of recovery. Allows you to have that longevity. Unaware is such a great option as well because, again, if you're taking it back up to RU, it allows you to be an answer to Dragonette's Feraligatr, Dragonette's Flygon, Belly Drum Linoon. You beat them 1v1 because you are unaware of their stats, and also SD the Blade. And again, if you are taking it lower, to a lesser extent, it can help you out with Calm Mind, Delphox, to a lesser extent again, setup Malamar, especially a Z setup Malamar, and SD Rhydon, Pokemon like that. So SD Sneasel, just allowing you to take on them, even SD Virizion, and we'll talk more about that encounter. So it allows you to actually ignore their stat boost and take them on. That's why you run Bold Max Max. Speaking of Bold Max Max, if you actually go Max Defense, Virizion's Leaf Blade is a guaranteed 3 KO after Leftovers recovery, which is why the next set is Counter Wall. It's a guaranteed 3 KO after Leftovers recovery. Of course, you do have to take into account that if Leaf Blade does crit you, it's a little bit worse for you because you will be 2 KO'd by it. But Counter allows you to deal with that, allows you to deal with Pokemon like Tyrantrum, Linoon more effectively, basically, instead of having to worry about Toxic, Recover stalling them, which Pyukumuku can do. It can definitely do, assuming that it's able to, assuming that it still has leftovers, basically. If you're not knocked off, it can definitely still do that. But it's still bold, max defense, max HP, and Counter just gives you a more quote-unquote offensive option, even though it actually just takes into account what your opponent is doing to you. But it gives you that more offensive option for Pyukumuku, and allowing you to actually be able to deal with your opponent with that. And again, Toxic and Soak, I already mentioned, Soak is always needs to be on a Pyukumuku set. It always needs to be on a set. Just allowing you to deal with Steel types and Poison types, which will otherwise wall you, is amazing. Obviously, watch out for Taunt, which is why one option is also Poison Z. Poison Z on Pyuku allows you to actually go for Toxic despite being taunted, and it also, I believe, raises your defense when you go for Z Toxic. So basically, it avoids that taunt. It allows you to not be tricked, crippled, or knocked off, basically, because you do have the Poison, the Z move, and it allows you to hit, it allows you to go for Toxic even if you are taunted. So that's a little option that it can have, but definitely Leftovers, and especially on the Block set, Shed Shell is the way to go with this Pokemon. I mean, it has 2 really cool abilities. I'll actually talk about the other options. It has Enters Out, so basically if this Pokemon's KO'd, let's say I get KO'd from full for some reason, right? So I'm at max HP, I'm at 314 HP, and somehow I get KO'd from full. It'll take away 314 HP from my opponent's Pokemon that ended up knocking me out. It's a really cool option, but typically if you're using Pyukumuku, you're using it as an underwear wall. You want to use it to beat those setup mons. Like the things it does have over Quagsire is the fact that it is, because as an underwear wall, it has it has the competition from Quagsire itself. But the thing it has over is the fact that it's pure water. And being pure water type, you can better check Pokemon like Belly Drum Lanoon, which run Seed Bomb better, which would otherwise still be 4 times effective on Quagsire. SD Leafblade, which SD Leafblade Virizion. So Pokemon like that, you're just able to check better. Just having that, as well as Glalie, which has the Freeze Dry. So you can Toxic, Recover, beat those 1v1. Otherwise, Quagsire like typically struggles with that. And even Pokemon like Salazzle, you can take on as long as you keep Recover spamming. Like, you can run a Spadef set, which will help you better take on Salazzle and Pokemon like that. But as long as you Recover off for Salazzle, Nasty Plot doesn't matter at all versus you. Again, a little bit more Spadef can be ran, but typically Fizdef, Unaware is the way you run this mon. So a few other options it does have. Darkroom Z Memento is a pretty cool option. Though, again, it faces competition from Pokemon like Whimsicott, which can just go for priority with Memento. But in the same case, in Whimsicott's case, also the best set for Whimsicott right now is either Life Orb or Specs in the NU tier. So, Darkroom Z Memento, basically, it's a Memento that is also a full restore for the Pokemon coming in. So that's pretty cool. You sacrifice Pyukumuku by bringing back the Pokemon that come into life. It also faces competition from Alolan Persian's Z Parting Shot, but at the same time, unless you're going for Z Parting Shot on the Switch, the Pokemon coming in is still taking a hit. Pain Split is an option too, though that's more reliant on your opponent's HP, but because Pyukumuku actually doesn't have the biggest HP stat, base 55, it's not a bad option, but again, passing up the reliable recovery from Recover, it doesn't just make much sense. And then Taunt is also an option for Pokemon trying to phase you, for Pokemon coming in, for setup mons in general. Even when Unaware, you're still taunting them, you're stopping them from setting up for later Pokemon coming in, like let's say they break through you with a crit or whatever. And in that case, I'm talking more so about Virizion. Virizion just needs 1 crit from Leaf Blade to 2-hit KO you before you're able to Toxic Saw it. So taunting it allows it to not set up anymore after that. It is a really slow taunt because this Pokemon is a very slow Pokemon. But pretty cool. So a few non-Smogon options, and I'm not talking VGC. It does have a few cool things for VGC as well. It's like Helping Hand, being slower than entire Trick Room teams, which is really cool. So it has options like that for VGC. But this is non-Smogon options, and I'm talking more so like Battle Spot singles. Unfortunately, I can't have a Baton Pass option here because Baton Pass was banned from Smogon. So one of the options this Pokemon used to have was be an Unaware Baton Passer that could psych up the boosts and then Baton Pass them to a threat coming in. So be unaware of those boosts and you can psych them up and Baton Pass them. Same thing with Curse. It was able to pass curses to an opponent, but now Pyukumuku, or to a Pokemon coming in, but now Pyukumuku can't actually use that. These are some options that you can run if you're playing outside of smaller rules, but typically these are going to be the best sets. I really do like that it got blocked now. Makes it a lot better and a lot more of a threat, and I'm really excited to showcase it later today. So yeah, that's all I have, guys. Stay tuned for the showcase later today. Feel free, of course, to leave a like and subscribe. You can check out the friend shirt down below, only available for a little bit longer. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.